Now that you've completed your practicum through some combination of teaching, tutoring, and observing, it's time to submit it for approval. To get started, log into Moodle and locate the Practicum section of Moodle. It's called ITA TEFL Practicum. If you aren't already familiar with the Practicum section of Moodle, please watch the Navigating the Practicum section video here. Before we go over the steps to submitting your practicum, let's do a quick review of the practicum requirements and helpful documents. Please open the first tab here. First, you will see the practicum breakdown section. This tells you everything you need to know to complete your practicum successfully. Below this, you will see we have a couple of helpful documents, the first of which is the practicum write-up experience. When you open this PDF, you will see that we have a list of things that you are required to include in your one-page summary, so please make sure that these things are covered in your essay when you complete it. Below that document, you will see the time log document. This document is for personal use only. When you open that link, you will see the fillable PDF file that allows you to enter in information and keep track of your own practicum sessions. Here you can enter in the date, name of organization or ESL student, number of hours you completed in that session, and the type of practicum you did. Remember that this is optional for your own personal use. You will not need this form when you submit your practicum. Go to the tab entitled Submitting Your Practicum. The first thing you will see is an optional checklist. If you want to double check that you have everything you need before submitting your practicum, you can view that list here. Directly below that is our step-by-step guide to submitting your practicum. There are only two parts to this process. The first part is posting your 550-word write-up to the write-up submission forum. Here are the instructions on what to do, and here is the link to do it. Let's open up the link as these instructions will be on the next page as well. Here I will walk through the steps. First, click on Add a new discussion topic. Next, add a subject line. Here it tells you exactly what information needs to be included. In the body of the forum, type your practicum write-up. You can type directly into this box if you would like, or if it's already written out in a Word document or somewhere else, you can copy and paste it directly into this text box. Lastly, click Post to Forum. Once you submit your post, you can see it comes right here to the top of the list. Part 2 of this process is the practicum completion form. The link for this form is here. The first question that it asks you is your course start date. Please make sure you get this date correct and enter it in here. Next, it asks for your email address. As you place your mouse over the text box, you will see an informational note on the right-hand side telling you to be sure to use the same email you used in the course. As you scroll down, you can see it asks you to enter your name. We want you to enter it exactly how you want it to appear on your certificate. We also recommend that you match it to the way your name is written in your passport. Here it asks you to enter in your address. If you are not sure where you will be living or what address you want to send it to at this time, you can enter in hold in all of these lines, and we will contact you once your certificate arrives in our Chicago office and ask you for an updated address at that time. Here it asks for your date of birth. Something to note here is that it asks for you to enter it in the day, month, year format. This might not be natural for everybody, and it might take a second for you to think exactly how to enter it in correctly. The next section is questions pertaining to your practicum experience. So first it asks you to check all the different types of practicum that you have completed. You will then continue to go on to the practicum location information, and you will check all that apply here as well. If you worked with an ESL student, check the box. If you worked with an organization or school, you can click that. And lastly, if you worked with an online organization, you can check that box as well. Some of you might have worked with just one, and some of you might have worked with more. It really just depends on your individual experience. If an ESL student was one of the boxes you checked, this section will appear for you. Here you can enter in the information for your ESL student or students. It will ask you to input their name and also their contact information, which could be an email address, phone number, or Skype ID. Lastly, it will ask you how many hours you completed all together with all of your ESL students in total. Now, if you also check the organization/school box, this section will appear for you. Please enter in the name of the organization, the name of your supervisor, and the email address for your supervisor. If you can't get the email address for your supervisor, you can also provide a phone number. It then asks you to enter the total number of hours you completed with that particular organization or school. If you worked with more than one organization or school, you can click on these boxes here. If you worked with 2, then a second section will appear for you to enter in more information, and so on and so forth. Lastly, if you worked with an organization or school and had a really great experience and think they might enjoy other TEFL students volunteering with them, we ask that you send them this link. When you open this link, it will bring you to a page explaining the preferred practicum list with the opportunity to be added to it. You can either choose to send that to your supervisor or not. Below is the section for online organizations. If you checked the box for online organizations earlier, then this section will appear for you. Here you can enter in the name of the online organization. In addition to the name of the organization, we do require that you upload a screenshot of your time log from that organization. Here are the things that the time log must show: how many classes you taught with them, how long each class was, and that the class was completed and not canceled by either you or the student. You can upload that file here. It then asks you how many hours you dedicated to that particular organization. Below that, we have 2 questions regarding the number of hours that you are required to complete for your practicum. This next section asks you about your experience in your practicum. The first one asks you to describe the types of students you worked with. This includes their age, background, home country, and native language. We then ask you to please describe all the subjects and topics that were taught either by yourself or another teacher you were observing during your practicum. This last section here is asking you to evaluate the practicum process. Once you have completed each of these sections, please click Submit. Once your form has been submitted, you will have completed the Submitting Your Practicum section. At this time, you're more than welcome to explore the After Completing Your Practicum and Practicum Questions tab for more information on when you will receive your certificate and additional resources. That concludes this video explaining how to submit your practicum.